Hello, and welcome back to the Flag Lair. Thank you for joining me on my second live stream. Welcome, come on in. My name's Mr. P, and this is indeed the Flag Lair, looking slightly different. I'll explain all that shortly, but let's get you in. Let's say hello. It's welcome. Hello. Yes. Are we there yet? Very nearly. We're here. So welcome. Hello, Victor. We've already said hello so far. So. Come along, first of all, say hello in the live chat. There's plenty to get through today, and I've got a list here of things that I want to cover with you guys. And you obviously need to get involved as well. This isn't all about me on our little Flags in Focus channel. So come on in. It's great to see you. So. What have we got coming up in this live show? So let me just run through a few things of what to expect. First of all, I'm just going to run through, hello Secular, hi, hello Red and White, good, Canada and Greenland there for flags. We'll come to those shortly. Greenland just reminded me. Anyway, first of all, can you hear me all right? Because I had a few issues last week. Hello. Remind me, Piku. Is it Piku? Piku. I know I got your name completely wrong last time, and you did tell me how to pronounce it this time. But you're going to need to remind me. Now, is that Pico, or is the I in E? But you have to keep up with me. Hello, Maple. Hi, great. Maple, as in the leaf, perhaps, maybe. Anyway, right, let's run through what's coming up in this session. So Red and White month is in March. I've stated that that's what it's going to be because I can. So for the whole month here on Flags in Focus of March, I'm going to be covering all things red and white flags. And I know it's still February, but we're going to kick it off today on this live stream. So I'll cover more about that in just a moment. We'll go through some of the red and white flags I've got here hanging in the lair, as well as some hiding down are out the way. There's a competition next month, oddly enough, linked with red and white flags. So I'll cover more details about that. Sponsored by the ever faithful and the flagtastic Mr. Flag. We'll be coming up on that shortly. There's a chance for you here in the live stream to win a flag yourself. So that'll only be exclusive for those of you who actually turn up here. So we'll cover that. Last month, it was Victor, who's in the chat already. Like love. Pico. Oh, right. Gotcha. Sorry. Pico. I am determined to get your name right. Where are we? You guys can win a flag. And also, straight away, let's get a look at what's your favourite red and white flags. It's very specific, I know, but if you've got a favourite red and white flag, put it in the chat. Let's get this rolling. Gosh, there's a lot of you already getting up to speed. Secular, hello. Maple, I've said hello to. Brilliant. I think I'm up to speed. Please cover the flag of the exiled government of the Belarusian Rada. I haven't got that. Is this the white, red, white that you're talking about, Secular? Have I got that right? And is it Sakai, the second part of your name? I really am awful with pronunciations. I have to go through a lot of this before I ever do any of my videos about pronunciation. So let's get that. Pronounce it the way you want. Okay, Pico. You're so kind. Thank you very much. Right, okay, let's get rolling. So yes, I can't believe I've forgotten Greenland. Out of my list that I was researching earlier for this live stream. And I've got it. It's in here somewhere. So first of all, yes, I need you to put down what are your favourite red and white flags. Get those in there. If you can actually recognise any of the flags behind us that are red and white, some of them are easier than others. Again, jot those down. Let's have a look at those. And as I said, at random, I'll be pulling one of you out of the hat at the end of the episode of the live stream of who can win a red and white flag for you. So, okay. Sakai, correct, the red and white flag. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. The bit like the Russian white, blue, white, red, white. White, red, white. It's Belarusian. I'm just going off on the chat here if I seem to be dancing all over the place. Alexander, hi, love the flag of Tonga. Yes, yes, I've got that. We'll come to that shortly. That's great. Ah, here we go. Look, bang, bang, bang. Before I get started on the flags here, do you like my hat? It is all the way from Istanbul. I bought it some years ago and I thought it appropriate for today. Polish ancestry, Maple. Excellent. Oh, well, you have a chat with Victor then. The white, red, white is the now forbidden flag of the independent Belarus. Yes, it's but it was the Belarusian flag for a very short period, I think, if I remember rightly, right at the beginning of its independence in the early mid-90s, 1990s. I'm struggling on that one. Anyway, right, okay. So, what's Red and White March Flag Month all about? So, as I said, I'm doing videos all this month, all the month of March, are all based around red and white flags, just because I thought I'll do a bit of a theme. Last year, it was the big Baltics Bonanza, for those of you who were around back then, where I did all things Baltics, so Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, and I covered the flags of the capital cities as well, and we had a competition last year as well. So following in that footsteps, I thought we'd do it all again, but this time with a slightly different theme. And you guys can get involved next month as well. There's a common shared hashtag which we can all use, which is simply, I haven't got graphics yet, but write this, I could put it in the chat, couldn't I? Which is hashtag red, white, flag frenzy. I shall type that down shortly so I don't forget. But yes, hashtag red, white, flag frenzy. And what I'm asking for people to do on their own Instagrams or TikToks or whatever social media that you use, just do what you normally do. But if you've got a red and white flag theme that you want to cover, then cover it next month and just use that hashtag. And then that will start getting mixed up with all the other people using the same hashtag. And we can just join in the fun. It is just a bit of fun, that one. It was very favourable last year with the big Baltics Bonanza, which works really well. But I'm hoping that red, white flag frenzy could be just as good, if not even better, for the month of March. So hashtag red, white flag frenzy is what you need for from tomorrow onwards for the next 4 weeks. And we can start sharing all our favourite red and white flags. You don't have to do it all through the month, but if you want to drop in a normal social media post that you do on red and white, then that's how you do it. So that's part of that. God, I'm out of breath already. The competition that I want to open up, and I'll open it up now. I'll come back to that, actually. Let's build up to that a little bit. Where are we before we get cracking on this? You're all talking about Belarus's white, red, white flag, which is fab. What have we got? Some people picking out some of the flags that I've got. Tonga favourite white is Northern Cyprus, Piku, which I've got. We'll cover that shortly. Here it is, Northern Cyprus. I must admit, the Flag Lair is not going to look like this at the end of it, because I'm going to probably take half of these down so I can show you. Where else have we got? Vexillology Nerds Unite. Yes, we do. Right, okay, let's have a look at some of the flags that I've got. Let me just write in here while I can remember as well. Hashtag red, white, two things at once, flag frenzy. That's the that's the hashtag you want to use. There you are. Copy and paste that one. Right, okay, let's get rolling with some red and white flags. Let's start off with some easy ones. We'll come to some of the ones that you guys have mentioned already. But the first one that's at my hand, which I don't have to worry about getting in the right way round, etc., is this one, which is a very recognizable one. Of course, is the flag of Japan, which I was quite pleased to get. It is, to be fair, one of my favorites because, as some of you might know, I like simplistic designs. And to be fair, I don't think you can get much simpler than a white flag with a big red dot in the middle. Obviously, the red dot is supposed to represent the rising sun of the east there. And this flag, or the Hinaranu, may have mispronounced that. You see, it's not just names, it's names of flags as well. And I've got here the 27th of February, 1868, I think, is when it was officially adopted, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, that the Japanese flag goes way back, much further than that, because I think it is one of the oldest designs. To be fair, it's one of the simplest ones as well. Okay, Hinomaru. There we go. Just be mindful of the other design. Yes. South Korea mug. Yes. Okay. We won't mention the other design. We'll just stick with that one. We won't do the ones with the sun rays on it. That's similar to Macedonia. That's not. Anyway, let's move on then before we start causing all sorts of problems. There was a question I was going to ask you of whether you thought these types of flags should be involved in the red and white design, and that's, for example, the flag of Peru here. Now, in your opinion, when we're talking about red and white flags, does this particular design of a red and white flag, should that be incorporated? So the flag of Peru with its coat of arms in the middle, or its emblem, national emblem in the middle, would you include this as a red and white flag at the end of it? Because obviously there's additional colours in the middle. Or do we stick to things like Tonga or Japan? So I'd be intrigued what you guys would say on that one. What have I got with Peru anyway? Probably not a great deal. 31st of March 1950 is this one. This particular design with its shells, and it's not a llama in the top corner, I'll give you that, but they're all Peru. And the other good thing I like Peru is that it has in just the Peruvian flag in the Peruvian flag, which is always a bonus, I think, with that one. So what do you think? Should we be including these types of flags? So there's this one, and we could potentially include, okay, while we're here, an unofficial now flag of Northern Ireland. If I can get that out, there we go. Same sort of thing. Would you include Northern Ireland in a red and white flag, which, to be fair, the Ulster banner is mostly red and white. It's just the crown and the black outline. So to me personally, I think I would include them in the red and white listings. What have we got here? Anybody who's not purist? Well, this is the point. Do I go complete purist on this and just do your Tongas, your Northern Cyprus, Austria? We'll come to that shortly. Or do we include your Perus, your Ulster banners, and oh, it's right here. And for example, whether anybody spotted it, of course, it's just at the top. I tell you what, let me get it down. Let me get it down without pulling the entire set apart. The flag of Malta. Now, come on, surely this can be part of a red and white listings, even though that the St. George's Cross in the top corner in the canton there is a little bit grey. Am I cheating on this, or are the purists of you thinking that this really shouldn't be part of it? Malta, of course, it was adopted originally on the 21st of September 64. It's a very basic design. The one niggle I've got with this one, and think for me that the Maltese flag could be so much better, and it's staring us in the face as far as I'm concerned, is that instead of the St. George's Cross that was put there because King George VI during World War II was very impressed by the Maltese people keeping their enemies at bay during particular battles, and gave them the St. George's Cross, and they were so proud of having the St. George's Cross that they slapped it on their flag, which is fair enough. However, what to me would make this flag so much better, and instead of the St. George's Cross, was you just simply have the Maltese Cross in the top corner. And it would be back to red and white solely. I mean, when you've got something called a Maltese, would you not want to put a Maltese cross on your flag if you're from Malta? My opinion, of course. So that's one thing where I'm coming from. So what are we thinking then? I've heard that the flag is Peru is a red and white flag. That's from Maple. See, I think I'm leaning towards maple on this one. Habibi, hello, hi. That's the best red and white flag, Malta. Do you think so? Excellent. It is very, I mean, I do like it. It's just that cross in the corner is the wrong cross for me. What else have we got? Malta is definitely a red and white. Thank you, Maple. Excellent. Sakai, next year, do only flags with the colour purple. Yeah, okay, let's cover that later. Let's not complicate things at all. We've only just started this year. The Republic of Georgia. Yes, we'll come to that. I've got that. Come to that in a minute, shortly. When we describe those flags, we say it's a red and white flag with. I like where you're coming from there, Piku. That's right. The main colours are red and white. The symbol is secondary. So in my opinion, it's okay. I'll go along with that. I'm quite happy with that. Where else have we got? Agreed, the Maltese cross is very pretty. Yes, it is. Eyelet. That's the sovereign Malta order different. Ooh, okay, good. Right, okay, so what have we covered? Japan, Malta, and we touched on Peru. Let's get on a few others that I've got hanging around the back here. Come to that one in a minute. So, while I'm here, so we have, let's get that out of the way. Rather common one is the flag of, I think England. We'll go with that one. Where is it? England. St George's Cross, of course. Why am I having to look that one up? It's the St George's Cross of England, which is a very basic red and white. There's no argument about this one, of course. I do like the backstory that potentially this flag was given to King Philip II of France originally by the Pope during the Crusades of the, I'm going to have to remember this one, the Crusades, 13th century. And that England's King Richard the Lionheart, because I can't remember what number he was given by the Pope a red flag with a white cross. And if you look at a lot of the paintings and artist impressions of the Crusades and the English of the Crusades at the time, they're all wearing red with white crosses. And the French is this way around. And at some point, I like the legend that at some point, some English soul managed to pick up a French flag and declare it as their own, probably by accident. And it's stuck ever since. And that to me just makes me smile, thinking that potentially England has a flag that really has got French origins from a pope, that we just got it wrong by accident. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one, or if you know about that? I like that story personally. That's the one I keep telling people about, the England flag, and obviously horrified when they potentially realise that that could be its historical background. So let me know. Of course, yes, Genoa, the Italians as well, potentially. What's the place that I'm thinking of in the north? Milan, that's it. Is it the city of Milan? Is the same, their city flag, is that the same as this one? Does anybody know? I want to say that the city of Milan in Italy is the same, but tell me if I'm wrong. I'm quite happy to be wrong on these sorts of things. Right, okay. Well, I like it, Piku, and I think it's keeps me amused. Anyway, right, so what else have we got? Anything else? Now, the flag of Bahrain, which is another one of my favourites. Again, we can't complain that this one isn't red and white. A very simplistic flag design. I think quite a powerful, well, not powerful, but very distinct until you come across Qatar, but we'll come to them in a moment. The 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, the 5 white points representing the 5 pillars of Islam, which is the main religion, of course, in Bahrain. And their particular flag was, oh yes, it's a Valentine's flag. 14th of February 2002 was when they adopted their latest version. So I quite like it. And it's a shame, it is a shame that it is ever so close where is it? Here, to the Bahrain flag, Qatar flag. Otherwise, it would be superbly unique. Where are we? Yes, Alfa Romeo has on their logo, of course, has the England flag on it. Does that just annoy people when you can say things like, why have they got any England flag on Alfa Romeo? Potentially could be French. Right, City of Milan is the Cross of St. George as well. Yes, yes. Get in, I know my flags are right. Thank you, Piku. So yes, let me get over here and just do, while I'm doing pointy flags, the flag of Qatar. Now, look, I'm right out of shot here. What I do like about the flag of Qatar is this deep maroon colour. In fact, let's get it down, which is why this is one of my overall favourite flags, to be fair, because it is such a great colour. Now, obviously, for those with a keen eye will know that the ratio of this flag is completely wrong, because Qatar has a ridiculous ratio of which I cannot remember off the top of my head because it's so different to anything else on the planet. But what's more important is the colour, which is this sort of deep maroon, which probably doesn't work on the camera, to be fair. Very deep maroon shade that they've got, as opposed to the sort of average red that everybody has. And they have 9 points, unlike Bahrain's 5. So they have 9 points, which is linked to Qatar being the 9th emirate to join a particular grouping back after independence. Again, I want to say in the 70s, I think. That was their main. Let me just see if I can dig that out. After the Qatari British Treaty meant that they became independent in the 1916, the reconciled Emirates in 1916. That just comes off seamlessly. Anyway, where are we? City Man. Do we include the unrecognised Northern Cyprus flag? Sakai. You mean this one? There we go. And I would say, yes, it's a flag, it's red and white, and it's here. So if I've got it in the flag layer, I'm going to say, yes, we'll throw it in. Now, I appreciate that the vast majority of the planet doesn't recognise the Northern Territory of Cyprus. I get that. It doesn't mean that the flag doesn't exist. So I would include it. And that's why I have it here. Again, I do like the design, A, because it's simple, but B, because it harks back to its parent flag, as it were, the flag of Turkey, or Turkiye, which is basically the same design, except obviously the crescent and star are red on the Cyprus flag as opposed to white on the Turkish flag. The bit that slightly narks me, for one term or better, is the lines, the stripes at the top and the bottom. Not the stripes themselves, but what they represent, because the top stripe represents Turkiye, the bottom stripe represents Northern Cyprus. And to me, Northern Cyprus should be at the top. It's just me. I get why Turkiye is at the top on this one. But yes, definitely, we include this particular flag in the realms of what's a red and white flag. So yeah, it might not be recognised by, well, let's face it, it's only recognised officially by Turkey, or Turkiye, isn't it? If I remember rightly. Right, 11:28 ratio. Thank you. Who's just told me that? Islets, yes. 11:28 on the Qatari flag. God, we're dotting around. Keep up, people. Is a brilliant ratio. And I must admit, when you see it live in its proper ratio when they're huge, and it's such a long flag. It's ridiculous. I do debate whether I should get one that's in the right ratio, but to be fair, it's probably too much of a faff to get that. I'm quite happy with that one. The only other problem I've got with the flag that I've got here is that I don't think the colour's quite right. It's not quite the deep Qatari maroon. I think that's the official term, as it should be. But it's still there. And I do like to fly Qatar and Bahrain together just to show them off. Right, to obtain a crimson dye, Victor says, especially in the Middle Ages, you had to use special insects, yes, and plants. So only well-to-do people could afford it on their flags and cloaks. So yes, thanks for that. Sakai, spilling blood brought the riches to afford the red dye. Ironic. Yes, you have to kill a few people to get the right colour of blood. Anyway, let's not go down that particular route. What I was going to do after we talked about Northern Cyprus was pull out one that you can't see there, so I shall get it down while we're here. Is, for those of you who would know this one, with its 5 petals and its 5 stars within its 5 petals. I'll let you guys just reach out on this one. It was made official back in 1997. Again, the British are involved in this flag, i.e. when we gave back a territory, this flag then took over once us Brits managed to get out of the way. It's a familiar story, I'm sure. Has anybody got this one as yet? Hong Kong. Thank you, William. Hello, William. Hi. So, yes, I thought I'd get this one. I've had this a little while now, this particular design, or this flag, sorry. And to me, it's not my favourite of all flags, personally. You see, things like this, and I think with some other flags that I've seen, is that, okay, the design for me is I don't know, you tell me. But sometimes I get that when it's just a simplistic design like this, why don't you make the design just a bit bigger? There's a lot of space on this flag, and you could fill it by just enlarging your motif just a little better. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason that the motif is the size that it is, but I think the flag Hong Kong isn't bad, but it's not one of my favourites. But probably because it's a busy orchid flower. It's an orchid. That was it. Let me see if I can dig out my dates as well, if you really wanted to know that. 1st of July 1997. That's when the UK handed Hong Kong back to the Chinese authorities, and that's when they took down the, I assume, a British ensign flag. I'm sure some of you can tell me otherwise. And they replaced it with, to be fair, something far superior than a British ensign, because if anybody again knows my thoughts about British ensigns, I would replace the lot of them. But that's just me. Anyway, where are we? Hong Kong. Oh, I like the icon. Also, on a separate note, the flags of both Tibet and Bhutan are very busy but beautiful, though not red and white. True, they are beautiful and busy, anyway, aren't red and white. So we'll cover those at a later date. Right, where are we? Gosh, we've been here nearly half an hour. Anyway, right, let's keep going on a few more while I'm here. Any particular ones that you can see that I haven't covered that you want me to cover? Let's pull them down. I was going to... So I've got here, right in the corner. Let's just get these without falling over and causing myself a mischief. So I've got here, right, yes, this is the flag of Austria. In its, again, simplistic. I think, again, it's one of the oldest designs, although it's not the oldest in use flag, but anyway, Austria's design. And next to it, I've got, as you can see here, just here, is the flag of Latvia, with a slightly thinner white stripe in the middle, as you may know. Now the problem that I've got with mine, this is when you buy cheap flags, they've just used a normal red on the Latvian flags. So that's why my Austria and my Latvia are pretty much the same flag, just a thinner white stripe. Whereas I do prefer the Latvian flag, but because it's darker, more maroon red that particular flag uses, which I don't have. So I will look out to see if I can get one of those, because I would rather have a proper Latvian flag with the right colours, of which this is very nearly the same as that one. So let's just hang this one back up again. I can get my Latvian down, but I think it's just not got the same. Oh, look what it's hiding. It's not here. It needs to be a much darker red than this, because let's face it, the Latvian flag does not have the same colour as Tonga, for example, behind me. But there we go. Having been to the capital of Latvia, which name just eludes me now, I've just started talking about it. Oh, Latvian capital. Come on, somebody. Remind me what the Latvian capital is. There's a beautiful, huge flag of Latvia flying. Riga, thank you, Pickles. There's a beautiful, huge Latvian flag flying, and I did manage to get over there and do some filming. Obviously, when you're in Riga, you've got to go to the river and film a flag, because that's probably what we do. Right, average Southern man, Riga, hi, hello. I haven't said hello to you yet, which is brilliant. My apologies for turning up a wee bit late. The Southern man, this is you with your insomnia. It's you, isn't it? If I remember rightly, because it's like middle of the night for you, if I remember rightly. So apologies for that, but welcome for filling your time up with me. Yes, it is. Right, okay, I do remember. See, I do pay attention. Right, somebody mentioned something, so Latvia, Austria. I said pick out any flags that you can see that we haven't touched on yet. Oh, and a red crescent. What are we talking about, red crescents? Red crosses? Do we include the Red Cross organisation flag? Do we include the Red Cross organisation flag? Because it's an organisation. You see, so strangely, I do have somewhere in the depths of here, not red and white, of course. What have I got? The UN and what's the other big thing that's in the news? Oh, NATO. They're sat in here and they are flags. So potentially we could do. There is this one as well, which you've just reminded me of, which is obviously the flag of chocolate and pen knives, and is one of two flags which are obviously in this ratio. Well, national ones anyway. Do we classify the Vatican as a national country, or is this really specifically the only national flag of this ratio? You just get where I'm coming from? Because there's city flags and regional flags that are a 1:1 ratio. So I'm just wondering whether the Vatican also sits alongside this one. But anyway, the flag of Switzerland and its cantons. And if I remember rightly, all its canton regional flags are all 1:1 ratios as well. Just a little bit of a plug, because I had to get this one, because I do have one, but just a little, there we go, Flags for Good. Just a free plug for them. I get nothing for that, but good old Michael and his team. Well, I think they've just moved premises in their company, because they're expanding, doing very well. Anyway, so that's that, the medieval Bohemia flag. Bohemia, did Bohemia cover regions of, oh my goodness, is this the Czechia and Slovakia and that sort of area? Am I in the right realms of that one? I never answered the question about the Red Cross flag. As I say, if I've got the UN and NATO, why not let's put an international recognised organisation such as the Red Cross into that? So yes, let's be from my perspective, the Red Cross should be included, of which the Red Cross, if I remember rightly, has got its origins from the flag of Switzerland. That's what reminded me. I think some Swiss guy from Switzerland who was rather upset by a battle or the aftermath of a battle that he'd seen, and wanted to help the wounded and didn't know what to do. And I think that was the origins of the Red Cross. And talking of Red Cross, while we're here then, okay, let's do Tonga, which has been sitting behind me all this time. There we go, Tonga, and with its very, very basic red cross on a white background with a red field. Let me just see if I got anything else written about Tonga. 4th of November, 1875. And the leader, don't ask me the leader's name on this one, of the islands was a Christian, which is why hence the Red Cross. But I think, if I remember rightly, the original flag of Tonga when they first came up with it was just the white flag with a red cross on it, until someone pointed out there is an international organisation called the Red Cross that has copyrighted that, and you're going to get into serious trouble if you use it. So it was then the rest of the red field was added to it to differentiate it from the Red Cross organisation. And I think, if I remember rightly, I've managed to get that right. Okay. Rugby Islands. Rugby Islands. I've not come across the Rugby Islands before. What I have got, which is different to the Rugby Islands, is this. Is the flag of so-called Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, which is this one here, with its pictorial wooden emblem, which is worn around the chests of the menfolk and the chiefs of the so-called Easter Islands there. So I had this one, which I fly occasionally, oddly enough, Easter time, just because I can. Again, a rather busy design, that one, but which is why it sits. I don't fly it all out often because it's not the most favourite one of mine anyway. Be interesting to see what's that one. Isle of Man. Okay, yes, I've got the Isle of Man. Let's just make sure. I'm having to keep an ear out because a little while ago I did order some flags, more flags, because I don't have enough. And weirdly, out of all the days, they chose that it could come today. So if I have to disappear very briefly, it's because they've turned up. Right, Isle of Man. Let's just get this here. Right. This is one weird flag. Sorry, I mean, I don't know how else to put this. It's it's an interesting flag. The Isle of Man is a strange, weird, autonomous island off the coast of the United Kingdom. It sits in between the United Kingdom and a Northern Ireland, basically. It sort of has its own, it's a crown, is it a crown dependency? So it has its own laws, it does its own stuff, it runs its own way, and it has its own flag. And I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's just a bit peculiar, I think is the best name. It's based on a very old design, though, I'll grant it that. And I think my research said that it goes back to the Greeks. Skelion, am I making these words up? Probably. Where are we? Isle of Man. Isle of Man. So that flag, where are we? 1st of December 1932 is when they officiated that. The Manx Triskelion. It's a great word. 3 armoured legs. Dates back to the 13th century. There we go. But has Greek origins. How the Greek origins ended up in a tiny island just off of the UK, I don't know. Unless anybody knows a little bit more on that one. Right. Rapa Nui does have nice flags. I mean, I like it because it's simplistic. It's simplistic because it's 2 colours. So we're darting back again. Check out Flags for Good. They sell a lot of unique flags. They do. I met the owner years ago, Michael. Yes, a very nice guy. Sakai. Yes, he is. I haven't met him. To be fair, I mean, I'm in the wrong continent, which doesn't help, but maybe one day. All of the Celtic flags are beautiful. Yes, see, Celtic flags, there's a huge array of Celtic flags as well. That's a whole different story. We'll get to those another one. Piku, yes, Triskelion. Okay, right, before I go on to any more of these flags, because I'm conscious of time and we're whizzing through all of this, and if I've missed a hello to any of you, then I do apologize. So again, hello to all of you. This is great. Right, so going back to the red and white themed month and the competition that I want to kickstart. So it's a very simplistic and broad region that I've got, and I will eventually put up on this channel and across my social media backing. I'll put on all the links shortly about that. But just to kickstart this off, what we're doing, myself with the benefit and thankful of Mr. Flag, who's going to help me deliver the prize at the end of March, is that I want you to design a replacement of a red and white flag. Basically, choose any flag that's red and white at the moment, and we'll include places like Peru and Malta, and indeed the Ulster banner, this type of thing, any of these. If you want to redesign a red and white flag with more red and white design, then that's what we're after. It's as simple as that. One entry per person, I'm afraid, but and the best one will have their flag, like usual, made into a proper 5x3. That's 5 foot by 3 foot, which is 90 centimeters by 150 centimeters, made into a real flag and sent to the winner. I'll probably end up having a copy of it as well, so I can fly it on my flagpole. But that's as simple as it is. So take a current red and white flag, redesign it in your own fashion, and then upload that to us, and we'll have a look at that. We'll need a description of what you're trying to achieve or what some of your designs are meaning. But that's it. And then at the end of the month, in fact, probably on the 28th of March, which is 4 weeks today, I'll obviously reveal the winner of that, and so who's won that. So that's great. So I'll share all the links on that, because I haven't got them on here at the moment, but I will get them so you can all get involved in that as well, for all you budding designers. Right, where are we? Cumbria has 2 flags. Does it? Cumbria has 2. Anyway, right, so let's just do a few more bits and pieces. Where are we? Just to finish off. What have I got? Oh, yes, someone mentioned this one earlier. I can't remember who mentioned this one earlier, but it was right at the beginning of the streaming. Is the what I call almost sort of the England flag on speed, really. This is, you know, if you didn't realise this was a Christian country, then you're obviously missing the obvious. The flag of Georgia, with its 5 crosses, and I think, if I remember rightly, the name of the flag is the 5 cross flag. But again, I mean, I do like, to be fair, at least the crosses are a little bit more, there's a bit of a design in it element, as opposed to just a big, or should I say a smaller plus sign in each of these. So that's my Georgia one over there. I was going to cover that. And I can't remember who mentioned Georgia earlier. Personally, I like Georgia. Georgia's old flag. Ah, yes. Which is, am I right? Georgia's old flag was a maroon field with like a black and white flag in the canton. Have I got that right? Is that right? Have I got Gibraltar behind me? Yes, we covered that one. I've got Gibraltar. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere safe, but yes, we did cover Gibraltar earlier. Oh, God, I put it somewhere. Oh, I've probably put it under a pile, but yes, I have got Gibraltar because I was banging on about the St George's Cross should be replaced by the Maltese Cross. So yes, we've covered that one. Southern Man, yes, it was. All right, okay. I've got. What was another flag I was going to cover? Oh, and I'll probably. I know I've got more, but we could be here for hours, I think, if I'm not careful. But I think what I'll do before I pull out a winner of today, I've got some details here of pulling someone out of who's a B on the chat today to win a flag. So we'll come to that in just a moment. But to finish off with, I think my favourite red and white flag, and one that is fairly obvious when I come to it. I'm conscious I haven't brought out Tunisia, but then I did Tunisia last month, and that's another one. But the one I think is my favourite, which has been in the news recently for different reasons, is this one. There we go. Which I think some people might recognise. There we go. The where is Maple? Where's Maple when you need them? Yes, is Canada. Well done, Piku, for getting it probably before I even pulled it out. So with its, let me get this ratio right. Is it 1:1 ratio of the colours? The Canadian Pale. Have I got that right? Goodness, no, this is where I probably should have done more research. Anyway, 1965, this particular flag came out again after dropping the British red ensign flag that they had before that. And again, as I've said before, to me personally, this is a far more superior flag than their red ensign, which they replaced. And out of all the designs, if you've seen them, and I would say go and check them out if you haven't, out of all the designs that were offered back in 1965 to replace that flag, one including the Prime Minister at the time had put like a three maple leaf version together as a design. I think that's the best design that they could have chosen out of all the ones that they were offered. What else have I got about Canada? 15th of February 65. Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson, that's it. That's the guy. But yeah, this is, I think, my favourite of all of the red and whites. It's busy enough to stand out, in my opinion, with the Canadian leaf. Canadian leaf, it's a maple leaf. But and unique in its design, especially from a nationality flag, or a nation flag, should I say. There isn't another design like it, to be fair. It's not like a Bahrain and Qatar. So that's my opinion. As the news is, I have got Greenland, oddly enough, Alexandra, but I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. Otherwise I would have pulled it out. And you're right, Greenland is another fantastic design. I absolutely love that. And where are we? This represents them very well. It's a very, very efficient flag. If you're using the word efficient because it uses up all of the flag and the space, I would totally agree with you, because it does. Unlike Hong Kong, which we talked about earlier. Anyway, so that's my thinking behind it. Anyway, so we're beginning to wrap up, I think, here, because I must admit it's a little chilly still in the Flag Lair. I can't wait for the summer, which is slowly round the corner. I hope you've enjoyed today. Let me know if you have, if there's other things that you want me to cover in these live streams. I'm conscious of doing them at this time, but works for me, but I'm conscious that I'm probably knocking out, apart from Southern Man, which we'll just park for the moment, I'm knocking out pretty much the whole of Oceania and the Americas, because either side of the world, it's either nighttime or very early morning there. So I might do some more of these at different times of the day, at different weeks. However, what I have pretty much locked in for this year, unless otherwise, is that every last Friday at 12:45 GMT, until we change to British summertime anyway, I'll be here with you, which will be great. So I'll do those as extra ones. Wherever works for me. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Southern Man. Right, okay, and it's the last thing. It's behind me. Are we talking about Malta still behind me? Or shall I just anyway? We'll move on from that. But I'll tell you what, Eilert, because I've missed it somewhere, or you missed it as well, but that doesn't matter. And I've got here, Eilert, if you're okay to share your home address with me, Eilert, I will let you have one of my red and white flags that I've got. You can be our live stream winner of the day for taking part. So Eilert, thank you very much. And thank you everybody. But Eilert, if I will reach out to you, if you want to reach out to me, let me, because I need your address, obviously. So I need you to. It was all right with Victor last week or last month because I could reach out to him. But Eilert, I don't think I've got any contact details for you at all. So if you want to reach out to me, and indeed anybody, my email address is simply tarath.peacock@gmail.com. Peacock as in the bird that used to be on the flag of Burma, but that's a whole different thing. So anyway, yes, congratulations to Eilert for winning the flag. Thank you everybody else for joining in and helping us throughout this last 3/4 of an hour. It's 50 minutes now, so I hope I haven't used up too much of your time. It's been brilliant having you here, as always. Don't forget, join in next month as of tomorrow. All your social medias. If you want to get involved, do a normal post that you normally do, but use the hashtag Red White Flag Frenzy, so we can all pick that up. It doesn't matter whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and various others, of course. By all means, join in, and we can keep a view of that. And my channel will be doing nothing but red and white flags for the rest of the month of March, which I'm still putting together. I've got my normal travel flags, the Flags in 50 Places episodes. I'm recording a video tomorrow with Joey B, the flag guy. We'll be covering some more red and white flags. I'll be here again in the studio covering that. And there'll be some other bits and pieces as well. And obviously, don't forget, I'll be pushing out the details for the red and white redesigned flag competition, so you can get involved in that to potentially win your own physical 5x3 90 by 150 centimeter flag for the winner, which I will reveal this time next month. So from me, Mr. P, I'll be saying goodbye. Thank you very much for joining, and until next month, be seeing you.